Yeah. Hold it. It won't.
No, it went green.
There, I got it to work, John.
Okay, item 2.
All right. Here.
Thank you. Hey, how are you?
Good. Oh.
Did we, did he email a link for the Zoom or not?
Nope, one, two.
Go to the website, I guess. We can't see it on here. I'm gonna. On the website?
Right on the front page of the website?
Yep. That's where I'm going.
Yeah. Or basketball.
All right, there we are.
We continue doing concept of Zoom after we open up.
They'll all be recorded after. We'll still be zooming.
So that if we had somebody that wanted to give a report,
Mhm.
they could.
They give a report. We couldn't, we can't vote on it or anything like that, but, or I mean, we can't, for certain restrictions. Would still be open to the public.
But I'm saying Scott Stevenson.
I'm sorry about that. Dear Lord, I thank you for this day. Thank you for the privilege of being able to serve in a seat that you've ordained all of us to sit in government. We pray that you would give us wisdom in making good and just decisions today, that we would honor you in our work, and we'd keep you in our thoughts as we do our work. In Christ's name, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. Roll call, please.
Reggie,
Here. Here.
Gothier,
Here.
Berman.
Here,
All right. Approve the minutes from the May 2020 meeting, regular meeting.
We'll make a motion to approve.
support.
Moved and supported. Discussion.
Yep, can I be excused from the vote, please, since I wasn't here for the minutes?
You may.
I mean, for the meeting, I'm sorry, so that, because I can't really judge the minutes.
Seems appropriate. Any other discussion? If not, roll call.
Sinek,
Abstain?
Johnson,
Here. Yes.
Gothier,
Yes.
Berman,
Yes,
Reggie.
Yes. All right. Public comment. 3 minutes per person. And you got a presentation to do, right?
I just found that out, yes.
Yeah. All right. Do we have any public comment on the Zoom at all? Anyone out there?
Hi, this is Carrie Mullins. I just want to say hi to everybody. I'm the chair for the Alcona County Republicans in the Mankato, also on Carrie's Critter Camp. But I just wanted to say hi to everybody, and I'm going to be a fly on the wall today. So, thank you.
All righty. Welcome, Carrie. Anyone else? Lenny, you got something there at ACCOA?
Sure. I just wanted to kind of give 3 quick updates. Number 1 is that we're doing an Alcona County wide pop-up pantry this Friday. We're going to be hitting the following 7 locations. So I will speak slowly so everyone can kind of get these locations. The first location will be at Lots Baptist Church in Glenny. The second location will be South Shore Hubbard Lake Firehouse. The next location will be the Alcona Township Hall in Black River. The next is the Barton City Firehouse in Barton City. Next is the Mankato Firehouse in Mankato. The Greenbush Firehouse in Greenbush. The Smokies Bar and Grill parking lot. And Alcona Elementary School as normal. All of these will go simultaneously from 4 to 6 or 4 until food runs out at these locations. Everyone is encouraged to go to your location that is nearest you and choose that location as your food drop. There is not enough food for people to go to each location. So we encourage those individuals, if you could not have made it out to the Lincoln location for our normal food drop, to pick a location that is nearest you and visit those locations. I'm going to give it again. Lots Baptist Church in Glenny, South Shore Hubbard Lake Firehouse in Spruce, Alcona Township Hall in Black River, Barton City Firehouse in Barton City, Mankato Firehouse in Mankato, Greenbush Firehouse in Greenbush, Smokies Bar and Grill parking lot on the east side of Hubbard Lake, and the Alcona Elementary School at these locations. My staff will be at the elementary school. The township supervisors as well as the fire chiefs will be responsible for that. It is up to the public that they want to donate. Donations are always welcome via mail. You can send it to P.O. Box 218. That would be in Lincoln, Michigan, 48742. You can address it to Alcona County Commission on Aging in the memo line food bank, or you can go to our website and click the donate tab, and that will take you to our PayPal. I also emailed you guys a copy of that flyer to go up on the website. This will be every Friday in the month of June. So every Friday, so that will be June. Let's see. It will be June the 26th. So we're solid for the month of June. This program is, we're going to take it month to month. Okay. So every Friday in June, you guys are good to go, and we'll have that ready to go for you at these drops. The second piece of information and update is During the governor's new COVID-19 rescinding of her orders, it affects us in different ways than say a normal restaurant. Our building is not designed to properly social distance, and we work with a population that's very vulnerable. So we have to be good stewards and follow CDC guidelines for that. With that said, our governing body, which is ASA, which is the Agency on Aging, that governs and pays for most of our programs, has advised us to stay within the phase 4 guidelines, which is anybody who is 60 years of age or older, not to congregate in groups of 10 or more. So as of right now, our congregate meal service is still not open. We are rolling back some of those closed services. We are now doing in-home services now. We are now getting additional services in the public that we had once closed due to COVID-19. However, the site still remains closed to the public, but that might change. Everything is fluid. We'll keep everyone posted. But I wanted to put that out there that right now, based off of the CDC guidelines and guidelines from the state, they said that because we serve a high-risk community, that they advised us to for right now to stay closed to our congregate meal services. Okay, and finally, I just wanted to say that just from the heart, I appreciate the outpouring of love. The people that have kind of reached out and talked and conversations that are happening across the dinner table across America. We are in this together. We are Alcona strong. We are stronger together than we are apart, and that is the one thing that we stand for in our name as United States. We are united in this, and this too shall pass. And this season will change, and we will continue to be stronger for it. So I encourage everyone who is out there peacefully protesting to let your voice be heard. There are a couple of things that are people trying to organize here locally, and just go out and remember it's in the spirit of brotherhood and unity. That's really all I have, Craig. We have some stuff up on our website for anybody with information. We have some T-shirts available. If people want to purchase an Alcona Strong T-shirt, that goes to paying for additional food for our community going forward. And that's about it. That's all I have.
Does are all those locations on the pop-up pantry Facebook page, or are they somewhere
that
online?
They are on our Facebook. They're on our events tab on our website. Okay. We have put some flyers out in the community for this. We have also talked to the fire chiefs, and we're going to send those flyers out to them so they can put that out in their communities as well.
All right. Great. Thanks, Lenny.
No problem.
For the update. All right. Scott Rice, you got something? Scott Rice, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
There you go. Got any updates?
You got to turn back on again.
How's that?
There you go.
Yeah, you're
All
green.
Right. All right. Call volume starting to pick up a little bit. The COVID testing at the Lincoln site for Alcona Health Center has been doing well. They have cones out. The cones seem to be doing the good direction of travel. I've not been using the volunteers from the radio group here in the county. I think we're up to 15 cases. A lot of those recently have come from Iosco County with all the testing they've done down there. They've done over 1,000 people at the Air Force Base down at Coletta Air. And I think they had a total of 23 total positive cases out of all that are the numbers that I'm getting. Emergency management wise, we're doing okay. I've ordered some more PPE to help out that we've been working with the Alcona Health Center in the COVID testing. We're okay flood wise. I've not seen too many problems. We have some minor flooding here and there, but phone's not ringing off the hook, and residents are happy so far.
All right, any question for Scott? Anyone? Scott Stevenson, you got anything?
No updates or anything. I just wanted to make a formal thank you to Cheryl Franks, Treasurer's Office, for all the help with everything recently. We've had a couple of snafus that she's spent quite a bit of time helping us out with. So a formal thank you, and I appreciate everything, Cheryl.
Good. Any questions for Scott? No? Any other comment? If not, Bill, you had something from the Fair Board?
Yes, we had a meeting last night and to discuss the outcome of our county fair. And it was determined to cancel based on the what we couldn't control. When we have 2,000 or 3,000 people come in, it would be very difficult to maintain the 6-foot separation and wearing the mask, and having someone at each building trying to allow only so many people in per square foot. We couldn't have the steak dinner. We couldn't, our entertainment, pump and run was another one that we wouldn't be able to perform with because of keeping the crowds segregated out. The Market Club is going to be meeting, and they will determine what direction they will take, and we will follow their lead as far as the auction or selling of the animals. There was parents that had indicated they were a little concerned about if you had the fair and the kids were having fun, how would they, keep them safe amongst people wandering through from different walks of life and so forth. So it was on the grounds of basically keeping the residents safe, the children safe, and the volunteers. We voted not to have it this year, and that we would try real hard to make a better one next year. For the sponsors that have already donated funds, we will be calling them to let them know find out their wishes. Some will let that funds ride until next year. Other ones they want theirs back, and we'll reissue checks. We're going to put it in the paper, and we are going to put all the signs up on the fence, thanking the sponsors in general for their efforts. But at this point, there was not much we could do, and it was a unanimous vote to postpone this year. So it wasn't taken lightly. Everybody wanted to have it, but they just couldn't find a way to keep it going. On two other topics, Recycles was closed in April. We opened it in May when the governor allowed Recycles to be part of garbage pickup. And it indicated it was a necessity. So we did May with some changes. We had the use of masks, and instead of having 2 cars or 4 cars on the asphalt where they unload, we only made a single file so we could control the flow of traffic. That went pretty good. Everyone was pleased with it. The volunteers felt safe. So we're going to do again this month. So Recycle will be doing the same thing, back up and running. We had a grant, the county and myself helped with Recycle of tires. And we originally thought we would have it in June, and we got a little concerned about what was going to be allowed. So we called the trucking company, and we now have it. It's the 3rd Saturday in July. I think that's the 19th. It'll be at the fairgrounds. It'll be from 9 to 2. You get 5 tires for free, and then we charge $1 past that per tire, and that will cover the advertising and the any miscellaneous that we have to come up with. We do have a mechanism. I have a gentleman that bought a farm that had a lot of tires on it, and it's not his fault. So what we can do is they get their township supervisor, and there's a form they fill out, and basically the supervisor says, yes, that wasn't this man's problem when he bought it, therefore he shouldn't be chastised or whatever. So that group of tires will be brought in with no charge. But they have to jump through the hoops. They have to get the supervisor of the township to go out and verify what that gentleman's saying, and then that form is brought to us when they bring the tires through and it's allowed to be checked.
Is that on recent purchases or prior purchases? Because I mean, I've had the same situation too.
It's been a standing thing what we've had with county cleanup, that far back as I know, that if a situation had abundance of tires, that they could, again, use their township to verify.
Okay.
I wasn't gonna go out there, or Mike Crick when he was doing it, but,
No.
The supervisor's decision.
Okay,
yeah,
but
and
I mean,
the
because
supervisor said, no, you know, you're telling me one thing and I know something different, then they wouldn't put their name on
you know,
it.
because I got stuck with like 4 car tires and a big semi tire, and I never drove a semi truck.
Right.
That's the 18th, by the way.
18th is not, okay, sorry.
That's okay.
So, but that's what we're shooting for. I did call the state to make sure that the funds were still gonna be there, and they claimed it was allocated during for the grants were all given out, so therefore there's supposedly can't be touched. Cause I didn't wanna push it and then find out that the grants were stopped and we were stuck with the funds. So at this point, it's the 18th of July at the fairgrounds, and I did check with our insurance company that I have for recycle, and they were saying that as long as we meet the criteria set down by the governor and all this, that their end of the insurance is covered the same as done before. So that's the 3 things I had, was the fair and the recycling and the tires. And thank you.
Alrighty, thanks, Bill. Any other public comment? Okay, hearing none, we'll move to presentations. Alyssa?
We're gonna come up there so that's right, so we're not peeking out in the corner. Jennifer, you wanna come? I wanted to start off by formally introducing you to Jennifer Lewis. For those of you that don't know Jennifer, she's currently our district court probation officer. She was the court administrator in Iosco County as a district court administrator for 20 years.
For district court for the 4 counties, I was for 11 years, then trial court for, well, actually not 11 years. The district court evolved because of the county's evolutions, but administrator for 22 years.
So anyways, so this is Jennifer Lewis. She'll be starting, taking over my position effective Monday. So she is in this building if you want to come by and say hi to her. She'll be moving into my office eventually, but right now she's at the end of our district court hallway. So Jennifer, to formally introduce you, you know Carolyn, Adam Breggy, and then we have Craig Johnson. You just met Dan Gauthier today, and then Gary Winup, if you haven't met Gary. So, yeah, so she's joining me today for the meeting. I had a couple things that I just emailed to you yesterday afternoon. The first is regarding a magistrate resolution. So has everyone had an opportunity to take a look at that?
No, our printer is out of order, and so I haven't printed them off and looked.
Okay, well, I previously reported at the last meeting that Pam Fowler was selected as a magistrate for the district court, and we need a resolution from the board approving that Pam be appointed as magistrate. This is not any kind of cost thing for you as far as this goes, other than what we've already previously discussed. However, this is something that we need to have approval in order to appoint her as a magistrate. I am a magistrate, so leaving that position, she's going to be taking on magistrate duties.
Okay.
So I printed everything but the resolution.
I've got it.
Okay.
Yeah, I printed the cover, but I didn't print the resolution.
So the resolution states, whereas the Alcona County Board of Commissioners received a request from the Alcona County presiding judge, Honorable Laura Frawley, to appoint Pam Fowler as magistrate pursuant to MCL 600.8501, effective June 8th, 2020, and now therefore be it resolved that Pam Fowler is hereby appointed magistrate for the County of Alcona, effective upon approval of the State Administrator's Office. So that is the resolution. We can do that in new business if you don't mind. I think, is it on there? No, okay, unless you want to do it right now.
Just do it right now.
All right,
So
so
moved.
if I have no,
I'll second.
so we need a roll call for that. Is there any discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Johnston,
Yes.
Gauthier,
Yes.
Brumman,
Yes.
Breggy,
Yes.
Winup.
Yes.
You have the, who moved it and who seconded it?
Carolyn and Gary.
I moved.
Brumman first.
Got it.
Gary.
And Gary.
Thank you.
Don't forget the thing.
Go ahead, keep going.
Okay. All right. Next I had emailed just a memo from the judge with some more updates. So lots of changes with the courts. When I was here last week, I presented to you the changes in personnel that were happening. Since that time, Gail Leesburg has submitted her letter of intent to retire with the court. So she is done with us. Her last official day is July 3rd. Her last day in the office is going to be June 26th. So we are actively pursuing finding Gail's replacement, which is going to be something that will be hard to do. So I'm going to make you all aware of that. Also, we will be doing interviews for that position, or I won't be because I will be gone, but Jennifer and the judge will be doing interviews for that position probably next week. We hope to have somebody selected in the next couple weeks here. With that position, Gail is required to have a certification from the state of Michigan. So being a court recorder or court reporter, in her case, requires this certification that in order to receive, you have to take classes. You have to take 4 to 8 weeks of classes, and then you take a state test, and then you maintain this certification. So there are certain requirements for that position that we don't know if we're going to find somebody that they're going to have that, or we're going to have to train them for that. We'll have to figure that out, or Jennifer will have to figure that out as it goes. However, I have talked to finance, or at least half of finance, about some concerns that we had with the salary of that position and comparing it to other salaries in this county. Gary, have you had a chance to speak to the board or anybody else about that? Or Dan, I'm sorry.
He did.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
He has very long arms.
Okay.
I kept trying to pull mine in.
Okay.
It's on my desk.
Okay. All right. So in this memo to the commissioners that we had submitted to you that included Gail's resignation, we have 2 positions, both hers and then also the other one that is the deputy juvenile register, which would be Carrie Scamazzo. We are requesting to increase those salaries to $30,000, which would be an increase of just under $1,200 apiece. So when I presented to you before about the changes in our budget, I told you that we were eliminating a position with all of this, and that it was resulting in a savings in our budget. Increasing these salaries still results in a net savings in our overall salaries. I've done the math. I've got it here if anybody has any questions or wants to know more about that. So I know I've discussed this with Cheryl, and I've discussed it with Stephanie in the past too. So
Is that bottom total line or just salary?
this is the salary savings,
Just
but,
the salary.
but when you take off the salary, you're not paying fringe on that salary as well. So, but I did not do fringe math.
Okay.
So the only additional increase in salary you're talking about is for,
For the deputy juvenile register and the deputy probate.
right, but
register.
we already agreed to the other increase in salary. Is that,
No, that was something for public guardian that we approved previously.
right?
Yes.
Right.
So now we're increasing what, 2 positions or?
Deputy juvenile register and deputy probate register.
So both those you're looking for a increase
Yes.
over?
Yes, to $30,000. Those are currently the 2 lowest full-time positions in the county. They require state certification. They are, this is not something you can walk in off the street and do this job. You have to have that training and education for that, and we do not feel that the salaries are commensurate for that in the county.
Okay.
Okay.
And are you asking for something now?
Yes, I'm requesting that.
You'd like it to be approved now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay.
And then this also ties into with the position that is being vacated by Gail, right?
Correct.
So there would be 3 positions.
No.
Oh, that is one of the positions.
One of the positions, correct.
Okay.
Yep,
So it's one of the positions plus one of the existing positions.
exactly. One of the positions that is being created by the
By
elimination.
being created.
Yes.
Snell is not ready to make a recommendation this time.
What's that?
The board is welcome to move forward on it, but I'm saying personnel.
So when Alyssa, so everybody knows, Alyssa came to me on finance, explained the whole situation to me. I met with Adam, and then we as finance decided that we should send it over to personnel. So we talked to Carolyn, that it should go to personnel for their review of it, and that's where it's at.
You haven't had a chance to do that yet.
No, Gary's been gone and
Okay.
our plate has been full and
Have you put the, I suppose you're advertising for the position,
Yes,
and you put the wage considering
we put a wage
the
range.
increase.
We put a wage range, yes, considering the increase, we put a wage range.
my understanding, I haven't seen the job, the ad, or my understanding is that it ranges from the current to,
It ranges from
Something
just below
else.
the current, we just did even numbers, so we ranged
Yeah.
from 28 to
Yeah.
30. Yes.
So the new position that is ranged up there, but it's,
Does the board have any pleasure in doing this, or they wanna wait, or what? What's the,
well, right now, the new position's getting, one isn't filled. The new position is getting created the minute you leave?
Yes,
It-
well, no, it's effective upon the court's entry onto phase 3, and I'll talk about our phases
Oh,
next, so.
okay, so is there some time for finance to look at, I mean, for personnel to look at this? It must be.
What do we need, what does personnel need from the court in order to make a decision on this? Normally, this was something I would go to finance on, so it's,
Well,
you know, what we need
they-
for you.
turned it over and there's no sense in us playing ball with this.
Sure.
I mean, it's not a tennis court or a ping pong table.
Mhm.
So, Gary's been gone. He got in like at midnight last night or something, and, I would like to sit down with him and have a few minutes, and we didn't schedule sitting down at 7 o'clock this morning, and so, you know,
So if personnel could just let us know, if, I mean, I'm here until Friday, so if you need to meet with me, or if it's not gonna be till next week, but I don't know what personnel needs to know about this, if you need to have anything from the court on it.
he needs an opportunity to see the documentation, to look at it and ponder over it, if you will.
The only reason we moved it for finance without a recommendation is that, being that is a raise for one position and a raise for a position getting created, that personnel should look at that for the recommendation, I guess. I mean, that's what we thought would be the right thing to do.
I don't think we're opposed to looking at it by any means. And I also think had finance made a recommendation, we would have been fine with that also.
Okay, fair enough.
So I don't perceive a real problem. But then again,
Well, I see a problem with us possibly being able to obtain a person that can do this job if we can't.
Yeah, you might not even
pay
find
them
somebody.
the lowest wages in the county and with definitely not the lowest requirements, so. And, okay, so that's being passed for now? Yes?
I hear nobody who wants to make a motion, so I would say yes.
All right, so the next thing I wanted to fill you in on is the court's reopening plan, and I don't, it's always this unknown with this right now.
Melissa, could I,
Sure.
a short time out? If the board wants to make a motion to approve pending recommendation of personnel, that works for me. I mean, it's kind of through the back door, but it does allow that then to happen and not have to come back to the full board again. But that's up to the pleasure of the board.
I would second that.
That wasn't a motion, but okay.
Oh,
It was an option for you.
I have no problem with it. Adam and I had no problem with it, but we thought it should go to personnel
And that's
before the
fine.
recommendation.
Yep.
For the full board's recommendation. I mean, we have no problem with it, but,
That's the normal status of things. That's normally how it goes.
right.
So we wait. Is that the
Well, no, I
consensus?
think did you make a motion?
I didn't make the
No,
motion.
she didn't make any motion.
But I intended to present it as an option for someone to make and to support and vote on.
Can you print me off a copy?
If you want to make a motion, I'll support it.
Yeah, I'll move to approve pending, review by personnel.
Is there support?
You supporting it? I'll support it. Okay.
Go ahead.
All right, moved by Brady, second by Dan Gothier. All right. Any other discussion? So we'll approve these payroll changes pending approval from personnel. Is the motion correct?
Yes.
All right. Roll call, please.
Gauthier,
Yes.
Brumman,
Yes.
Brady,
Yes.
Winnet,
Yes.
Johnson.
No.
Thank you.
I'm always a yes.
Wow.
Everybody know.
It's good to have a no vote. once in a
That's
while.
It's my job.
I haven't had a no vote in a while, so.
Yeah, but it's only one, so.
Well, we haven't passed it yet
No, no,
either.
no. All right, so next I wanted to talk to you, just to briefly fill you in on what's going on with the phases of the court. So as I've previously told you, we have a 4-phase plan that currently is still what we are, the directive we have from the Supreme Court. We have not received anything saying that we're doing anything but this. We did receive a local administrative order from the Supreme Court yesterday that has approved us to enter phase 1. So ta-da, we're officially in phase 1, which looks pretty much like it did 2 days ago. So we are still requiring everybody that is coming into court for services to wear PPE. We are still limiting access to the courtroom to 10 or less. None of those things have changed. We do at this point expect to be able to start progressing more rapidly through those phases now that some orders have been lifted from the governor. But really, we're just waiting on direction from the Supreme Court. I'm hopeful that something's going to come out in the next 2 days. Otherwise, Jennifer also can, she's more than capable of handling all that, or she can always call me if she needs to get filled in on those things. But phase 2 is when we start slowly returning to normal, and about phase 3 is where it starts looking like people are in the building more and that kind of thing. Our offices are fuller staffed. We'll have to talk to maintenance about possibly moving people if we need to have 6 feet apart. We have 2 offices that might be a potential problem with, but other than that, that's where we're at with our phases. We are officially in phase 1 of our reopening plan. Does anybody have any questions on that? Okay. That's all I had. The only other item that I wanted to discuss, Dan and I talked about, was just a line item issue, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you all very much.
Right before you leave, Alyssa, we have something for you, and I'm going to read this. So, as we all know, Alyssa has tendered her retirement resignation.
Not retirement.
She's moving on to some greater and greener pastures, and so we've drafted an expression of appreciation, and I'll read this and then present it to you. So bear with me here. Known as the Alcona County Board of Commissioners, we do hereby collectively express our appreciation and gratitude to Alyssa Pickler for over 13 years of service to the citizens of Alcona County. Her ability to coordinate the various elements of the court system, as well as her talent in creating and executing a productive and comprehensive system, provides for an enhanced product to serve those utilizing our courts. Alyssa began as a drug court coordinator and district court probation officer in December of 2006. As drug court coordinator, she was responsible for grant management, all fiscal responsibilities, case management, screening of potential participants, and general oversight of the drug court team and procedures. As district recommendations for sentencings on all misdemeanor cases as well as probation violations. She administered alcohol screenings in addition to monitoring the compliance of all district court probationers. In these roles, Alyssa demonstrated tenacity and solution to all the challenges she faced. In October of 2012, Ms. Pickler was appointed a deputy magistrate and site supervisor for the district court. This additional authority groomed her for her next role that would become a defining time in her career. In July of 2015, Alyssa was appointed as the first trial court administrator for Alcona County, a position she has held until her resignation of June 2020. She dove in and began the difficult process of transitioning our multiple courts into one court of justice. This was a time-consuming, challenging endeavor that involved a significant amount of change and upheaval. She faced it with strength, intelligence, and positive attitude. She earned not only the respect and regard from her presiding judge, but also her staff and county department heads. It's not on there, but I would also say the Board of Commissioners have been well aware of the work you've put in. Alyssa's leadership skills as an administrator are appreciated by her staff and others who have had the pleasure of working with her. Some of the descriptions to express that appreciation include awesome, terrific, diligent, loyal, unflappable, and foolproof. She will be missed. As Alyssa moves on to the next chapter of her life, we collectively wish her well. May she find sunshine, rainbows, songs, and harmony. That wasn't my sentence.
You can imagine from here on over,
Yeah.
come up with this.
As she moves forward in her new adventures. So I can't shake your hand, but
I wish I
I'll
could
fist
shake your
bump you.
hand. I wish I could give some of you guys hugs. So thank
Come
you
back
so
and we'll
much.
get 'em.
Yes. Thank you so
There you
much.
go.
Thank you all very much. That was, thank you.
So it's been, yeah, I can remember when I first came here, you were down in that office, and
Yeah.
you've definitely
Yeah.
through a lot of changes and a lot of things that have happened.
Yeah, I've loved my time here in Alcona. I am going to miss a lot of the people. I'm so excited for my new adventures, but it's the people here are really what I'm gonna miss. This has been an interesting week, I tell you what. It's kind of crazy closing up, you know, and trying to make sure Jennifer's got everything ready. So I'm gonna start flapping when I'm my unflappable, so I don't have to break that straight. So thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know. John's got me locked out.
You broke it.
John, you broke my computer, if you're listening. Okay. All right, unfinished business. Amend vacation extension and date. So, we had I think at our last meeting, I look in the minutes, we made a motion. Where is that? Motion by Gothier, second by Brumman, to extend unused vacation time 90 days for employees whose anniversary date falls between March 16th to May 26th. So, why is it unfinished? Because we want to amend that, or that'd be new if it was.
Well,
is that who requested? Did you request that, Carolyn?
well, I guess, yeah, among others, if your anniversary date fell May 27th, then you may have lost time. I mean, you couldn't go anyplace really.
Well, the stay at home has been lifted now, so it's all over with. It's been lifted as of Monday, right?
Right.
It's coming Monday.
Yeah.
No, this last Monday,
Yeah.
Yeah, last Monday. It's stay at
Last
home
Monday
is
to stay
done.
at home?
June
Yeah.
1st.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
so
yeah.
we're talking only 4 or 5 days, is all you're talking.
I guess,
So what's the request here? We already have a motion.
we do have motion to modify the ending date is the only, is the request. I guess I'd like to have us reach out, at least a month or so. I offered you a suggestion. I sent it to all of you, and I think the majority of you rejected it, and that's fine. So, or you can leave it at the 26th.
So we're currently at the 26th now. That's what it is.
That's what you've got. That's
Yep.
the rule that you made.
Okay. So I wouldn't be comfortable in amending a motion that's 2 weeks old. If you want to make a new motion,
Well, I would think you could have a motion to amend the closing date or the terminating date of May 26th for a new date of X.
well, if there's no support, I guess we don't have to worry because it's not going to happen. But
I mean, the only, if you want to have, I mean, I'll make a motion to do this discussion that we amend the existing motion from May 26th to June 1st, when the stay at home was lifted. You're talking 5 days, but that's when the stay at home was lifted. People can travel now. So if your vacation happened to fall in those other 5 days, I guess we could extend it to then, if that is, but it might be a moot point because there could have been nobody in them 5 days.
Right.
But other than that, I would not support anything beyond the June 1st deadline.
is there a motion in there somewhere?
I have a question on that.
Hold on.
Okay.
So what's the motion?
I said I made a motion to amend it to
June 1st.
May 20, from June 1st, the date from May 26th to June 1st.
All right, Dan was the original motion maker, so. Is there support?
No support, it dies.
All right, hearing no support.
Good.
I consider the
I'll
amendment.
support, because it's the best we're gonna get, I guess.
Okay, so there is support. Discussion.
I don't, any discussion?
So we want to change it from May 26th to June 1st.
Yeah, I think it should reach out, myself, I think it should reach out further, but I'd rather have it go to June 1st than stay at May 26th.
Okay. Troy, did you have something? Because you're one of these that caught in this. Is that what I'm saying?
One, and
Okay.
I couldn't leave my office because of my staff. So to utilize my vacation time, I was ordered that we had to at least have a person in there, then it went to 2 people in our office. So I could not leave anyway. So I mean, I would have been glad to use my vacation time, but my staff wasn't there and you guys wanted our office open, so you tell me how I was supposed to use my vacation time. And my anniversary is today.
Well, by this motion, you would now have 90 days to use.
Yeah,
Yeah, you got 90
yeah,
days.
you got 90 days to
Well,
use it.
I
by
was
the-
making sure that it is going 90 days.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah, yeah.
If it doesn't pass, or if it does pass, or,
No,
Well,
you-
you won't lose it for 90 days.
yeah, so you have 90 days to use your vacation.
okay, I was just making sure because.
That was the current one we have. Is
Right.
that. I mean, even without this amendment. Or
Right,
not, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, the reason why I'm here is because I just want to make sure that it was.
Yeah, you're set now.
yeah, you're okay.
Okay, I was just making sure that wasn't going to lose 9 days.
Oh, that's, yeah, believe me,
With motion.
I mean,
on-
I would have liked to use it
Yeah, I understand.
prior, so.
So there's motion on the floor. So.
No, I guess not by the way the motion reads. So the motion says, the one, or not the motion, the one that we passed, is to extend unused vacation time 90 days for employees whose anniversary date falls between March 16th and May 26th. So in Troy's case,
Mine's June.
he wouldn't, this would not pertain to him. The current one that we are operating under
Gary,
right. What's your date?
today.
Today.
Right, and it won't
he just mentioned that, yes.
apply now either. If we use the June 1st,
Correct.
Right.
he'll
Correct.
lose it.
Right. I thought yours was in May or something. All right.
Wait, something else.
All right, I got Sheila asking the question, since today is June 3rd and not June 1st, and we're making it today, how's that gonna function?
Because of June 1st, you'd have to make it to at least today's date. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I see what she's saying, but that's, I mean, I would go out to, at a minimum, June 10th.
I think
or
we
June
got it.
15th.
Okay, no,
But,
thank you very much.
but as I said, I'd rather have the June 1st date than leaving it at May 26th.
And I think we had the discussion in this too, if it was, there was only 1 or 2 people that we thought fell into this. Now, because of June 3rd, I mean, Troy's fallen in this, I mean, we don't want anybody to lose a vacation over this thing, that's for sure, so.
So can we change it to June 5th? Would that work? That way they can, I guess we're talking about having a filing date as to when they're gonna ask for it?
No, well,
No, it's just our
No.
anniversary date.
but using it.
Usually. So what is it, 3rd?
Well,
Yep.
like I said,
Or
I mean,
fifth.
I could have used my vacation time, but I couldn't because I had no staff, and that means our office would have been completely closed up if I wasn't here.
I'll amend my motion to the date of June 5th, which is this Friday.
Okay.
I will second that motion. Gary's
So
another
that gives you
second.
from 90 days to use it.
And we're back to full staff, so that's
Right.
awesome.
I guess we've been on lockdown. People, I would suspect, if it were I would not have made plans until I knew when the lockdown was over with. You all knew that I really did believe she was going to extend us past June 12th. I was just sure of it. I was offering $5 bets for that. And nobody took me up on it, which now is good. But I just would not have made plans until I knew. So if you've got somebody with a June 6th anniversary date, they've lost it. I mean, you can't get it planned. You can't utilize it.
Any other? So right now we have a.
Well, I do
I
have
hear-
anybody reviewed the personnel policy in regards to the vacation time?
I have various times. I don't know how it, but are you asking a question, looking for an answer, or are you
Well,
going to
I
make a comment?
I was asking if anyone had reviewed the staff handbook in regards to the vacation time.
Yeah, but I can't quote it.
Why
then?
Yeah.
I was just curious because of the rollover time and the accumulation and the option of purchasing. Was that ever reviewed from the handbook?
Well, you could purchase, that's true, but what if you didn't want to purchase? What if you wanted to use it?
I was just curious because there was an accumulation of a rollover of the vacation that was mentioned in here. I just was looking through that. I just wondered if you guys were on board with that. Apologize for the interruption.
So we have, right now we've asked you, the motion on the table is to
And
extend.
the 5th.
Extend it to the 5th.
5th, June.
Anybody whose anniversary.
Comes into, or through the 5th of June, I'm just trying to make sure I'm understanding. Through the 5th of June, you have a 90-day extension before you would lose what you have on your books.
So you have a 90-day extension where you could buy it, where Cheryl's saying is you could get paid for it.
That's a question which is not addressed by this, because in theory, you have to buy it before you lose it.
Oh.
And I guess if you're saying you've got a 90-day extension,
You have
that
that.
would be an extension to use or buy.
Right, use or
I would
buy.
agree with
Right,
that.
Right, so, yeah, so the motion's on the floor, it's been amended and it's seconded for June the 5th.
Any other discussion? All right, roll call, please.
Brumman,
No.
Breggy,
No.
Benek,
Yes.
Johnson,
Skip him.
No.
No, we need him. If
No,
they're
you-
fast, you need him.
Yeah. Oh, Troy, why are you sitting here?
It's nice watching you.
I'll say yes.
Gantier,
Yes.
Motion passes. All right. Because at that point, when we passed the other motion, I was assuming there was only one or two that were in this situation.
Right.
And I thought you were one of them, and we caught you in the last motion, but
No, we didn't catch it.
yeah, I didn't
Well, we
realize.
can't go by, just because he's such a nice guy, we can't go by who gets
Well, and I
in the
would
system.
have used my time up. It just happened how it was, because I had my vacation planned. But then when this all came down, I couldn't.
And I've seen that on your calendar, so I know you're not just blowing smoke. That I knew you, and you could not because you had to be here.
You know,
And I
I
was-
had
Yeah.
I had my 9 days picked already, and then
Yep.
this happened, and then the staff.
Repick them.
Well, honestly, we weren't thinking about the person that had to be in the office. We were thinking more of the person that couldn't go on vacation because there was no place to go because of the stay-at-home order. That's
Well,
what we thought.
That played a part in it though, and I'm not saying Troy specifically, but we had other offices where they were on and off, two in, two off, and they
All right.
couldn't have very well either, I don't.
All right, so
Anyway.
we've changed that to June 5th now.
Yep.
Okay. New business, claims.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the pre-authorized claims and open claims presented for payment between May 20th, 2020 and June 2nd, 2020 for check numbers 140981 to 141104 and e-check numbers 1310 to 1320 for a grand total of $396,388.67.
For support?
Support.
Any discussion? None, roll call, please.
Ricky,
Yes.
Nook,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Gothier,
Yeah.
Brumman.
Yes.
Any additional from finance?
No. I don't think so. Adam? No.
Nope.
Today is the
Third.
6th. I don't know who seconded that, so I didn't put it in there. All right. Resolution in response to Executive Order 2020-77. Gary, I believe.
I will
this
make a
was-
motion to accept this resolution as written.
We received this a while back. Hope
I'll
everybody
second.
Thank you.
Had a
Adam
chance to read it.
seconded.
Yep. Would the board like me to read this or give me a,
I'm willing to give you a pass.
okay, thank you.
I mean, it's basically a copy of the,
I'll read the resolutions if that's of the bottom resolves.
sure.
So the whereases are lengthy. The resolves are that the Alcona County Board of Commissioners call upon Governor Whitmer and the state of Michigan or state legislature to immediately reevaluate Executive Order 2020-77 to ensure the civil liberties of Michigan residents are not infringed. And therefore be it resolved that the Alcona County Board of Commissioners call upon Governor Whitmer and the state of Michigan legislature to immediately consider relaxing some restrictions, allowing more people to return to their jobs, and therefore be it resolved that the Alcona County Board of Commissioners call upon Governor Whitmer and the state of Michigan legislature to end their unilateral one-size-fits-all approach and to work with counties and local governments in the fight against COVID-19 to ensure that measures put in place make sense for our communities, and that a copy of this resolution be sent to Governor Gretchen Whitmer, Senator Jim Thomas, House Representative Susan Aller, and the other 82 counties in the state of Michigan.
I just feel like it's, I don't want to say not worth it, but it's an after the fact kind of thing, and quite a ways after the fact. But
Is this open for discussion?
Yes.
Well, unfortunately, all this transpired after what happened on Monday. I still don't see her giving up the reins on this thing. You know, it isn't government's job to protect people to this degree. I mean, you know, if you really feel that uncomfortable engaging with society, then, you know, you can mask up and glove up and stay home. But, you know, unfortunately, I'm running into people that, you know, you find out that all of her reopening phase, for instance, I mean, there were restaurants close to the Alpena line that all you had was trees in the way, and a couple restaurants couldn't open that could have been opened. I mean, this hasn't been looked at, in my opinion, honestly, to, you know, really fit what we need for here. We know we haven't had that many cases of COVID here, you know, and I've seen the way Chris Mart's been operating. You know, the only problem has just been the common sense part of it. You know, I mean, no other disease has gotten this treatment and has never shut down the country. And the original concept was just to slow what happened to the hospitals what's happened after the fact has been to try to keep everybody from getting sick. It's been an overreach, in my opinion. I think the message just needs to be sent.
All right. Any other discussion? I don't hear any. All right, roll call, please.
Ready.
They say consider, I'm sorry, just not to delay this one more
Oh,
time.
I'm
but
sorry. So,
Can you say,
that the Alcona County Board of Commissioners call upon Governor Whitmer and the state legislature to immediately consider.
okay, next one.
Relax. Okay, call upon the governor to end their unilateral one-size-fits-all approach and to work with counties and local governments in the fight against
Okay.
COVID-19.
So consider and, okay, yes. My vote's yes.
Winnet,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Gothier,
Yeah.
Brumman.
Yes.
Good. In the spirit of that, I would like to make a motion to open the county building back to operation without all making appointments and allowing people in here to operate, in the county's best interest. I think it'd be a step forward in the direction. Again, this Zoom thing has regally been a pain.
Do you
So-
want to put an effective date?
Just a second. Hold on. We have an agenda here we're going by, so.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so let's finish what we've got and then we'll take that up. Let's get our list here.
Okay, I'm
But
gonna
we'll like
put
to
that
make a
motion.
motion.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's all I'm asking.
All right, so we got that resolution approval of fiscal year 2021 community corrections grant application.
It's in our packet.
Yes, I think I saw that.
I think all that's changed is the date. Here.
Yeah. So this is a shorter one. I'll read this one. Approval of the community corrections grant application. Whereas the Northeast or NEMCOG serves as a fiscal agent and program manager for the Northeast Michigan Community Corrections Advisory Board, whereas this county is a member of either the NEM CCAB, strongly desires to continue to participate with community corrections programs and services. Whereas NEMCOG has worked with the OCC to develop a community corrections fiscal year 2021 grant application for the NEMCAB. And whereas the fiscal year 2021 community corrections grant application has been prepared by NEMCOG in the amount of $321,373 for community corrections programs and services in the counties of Alcona, Alpena, Sheboygan, Crawford, and Otsego. And whereas the Northeast Michigan Community Corrections Advisory Board has approved this grant application and recommends its approval by its member counties, therefore be it resolved, Alcona County hereby approves the Northeast Michigan Community Corrections Advisory Board's fiscal year 2021 grant application prepared by NEMCOG for community corrections funding in the annual amount of $321,373 for programs and services.
So,
That's the resolution.
so moved.
I will second.
Seconded by Gary. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Johnston,
Yes.
Gothier,
Yes.
Brumman,
Yes.
Brady,
Yes.
Winnet.
Yes.
I probably got to sign that at some point. Trina, I'll get it when you.
Yeah.
Next item, NMCOG. No, that's not, I'm sorry, Dave Hanson, Building and Grounds. Dave,
Hi, everybody.
give us the good and the bad.
Well,
Good first.
hi everybody, Dave Hanson, Building and Grounds. Give you guys some papers to look at here. We have two issues to discuss. One is a budget line item issue with the jail building repairs, which I've been working on over there. So the big issue with the jail building repairs is, once again, we talked about my line items are set up to take care of basically normal repairs. For the second year in a row, we've kind of exceeded that limit again. We tried at the beginning of the year to keep my budget in check, so we went from $4,000 to $5,000 in building repairs. As of May 15th, we had went through all $5,000 of that budget doing building repairs.
Didn't I ask you to do the good first?
I am doing good. So we tried to, with some of these things were planned on, we had to do the fire suppression system above the stove to meet the new codes. That was an $1,800 repairs. The garage door where they take people prisoners in and out for the booking door has broken twice. We think we've got the issue all fixed there. Everything from the main springs breaking above the garage door, which bent some tracks out of shape. We're still having some major expense that we're costing us over there is that boiler system, which hasn't worked quite right since day one. It still keeps tripping out with an overheating issue. We think we figured out what it is after talking with a bunch of engineers and stuff. The new recommendation is that style boiler was installed with flow switches on it that control the boiler system for turning it on and off. Because it's a fire tube boiler, they now recommend that you install low water cutoff switches instead of the flow switches. Because we cannot keep the flow switches in check. That's why it keeps tripping out. Because the way the thing is piped down there, it constantly keeps tripping the boiler out because the one boiler does domestic hot water and it does a heating there. And it's having a hard time with the flow control on it when it's switching back and forth between the two systems.
Okay.
So their estimate, that's why you see all these repairs, is because all of a sudden they get a call, we got no hot water in the jail. So we go over there and reset it. The next time we go over there, there's no heat in the building. The next time we go over there, it's tripping up because it hit 196 degrees on the heating loop. And a lot of it has to do with these flow switches. So their estimate to repipe it and install the new type of safety switches on there is $750. We were hopefully going to have that done by now, but with the COVID thing, we haven't had it done yet. We have to get it done by August. That was our ideal goal because we have to do our 3-year boiler check on the system. And currently, right now, we will not pass the state inspection on it because of the current switches that are on there. So we're going to have to get that done pretty soon. Once I had exceeded all that money, I took $1,000 out of my building and grounds from the county building and transferred that into there to pay for all the repairs we've done, which currently leaves only $335 in that current line item. The estimated repairs are on right now. The large kitchen freezer in the kitchen quit working. The gentleman was there all day yesterday working on it. I'm figuring that invoice is gonna be at around $500. While he was there, he was trying to fix the kitchen stove. Had something to do with one of the oxygen valves on the flame sensor up on the top wasn't working properly. So I'm estimating that's going to be a couple $100 worth of repairs there. We also found another issue with the stove. One of the pans underneath had rotted out underneath, so we had to get that fixed. So I'm estimating that's going to be $500. So if you add that in there, that's still an additional $2,750 worth of repairs, not including everyday maintenance that goes on in that building. So I would like to take some money out of the contingency fund, which we set out at $5,000 at the beginning of the year, transfer that money into the jail repairs to carry me through for the rest of the year.
To complete 5,000?
I'm thinking if we do, I would just like to do 4,000 and leave $1,000 in the contingency fund. Because some of these other invoices may come in less. I'm going on the high side. We also need to do some plumbing repairs in the back. I put $1,000 estimate on that project, but the same thing, once you get in there and you start cutting pipes, it may not be as expensive as we think. Could be worse. We went on the high side of the estimate with the plumber, just looking at the pipes. We know there's 2 shut-off valves that will not stop. They won't shut off. We're gonna have to replace those, but we're hoping we can get out of it with that kind of cost. So wanted to bring that up to the board's attention.
From my perspective, that's a departmental decision. And
Correct.
If that's what you think is best, go for it.
Correct. Yeah. But that takes us to problem number 2, which is the other issue that you see on the invoice there. A riding lawnmower that we currently take care of all the lawns with and stuff like that is on its last leg. We've been trying to fix it. It's been broken on and off for 2 weeks now. I can't talk with this thing. But I would like to say thank you very much to the Harrisville City Department of Public Works. Our mower's been broken out for 2 weeks now. On Monday, they did let me use their spare mower, so I was able to get all the lawns mowed around the county building. I still haven't made it down to the MSU buildings. Their lawns haven't been mowed at all. So we're looking at replacing the mower. It's a good lawn tractor, but it's a 2001. It's got over 1,800 hours on it, which is at the end of the life cycle of those. It's just a residential 48-inch mower deck. We would still keep the lawn tractor because it does fantastic job with the snow plow on it. I bought a salter for it for doing the sidewalks. That part of it is okay. It'll work well for that. What it's not doing is the deck mechanisms and everything associated with the mower deck. It currently has 8 holes in the deck that I've patched with tin. The pulleys are going bad. The system is just wearing out on it. And you can't buy all the replacement parts for it anymore. It's not cost effective to replace the deck on that thing. So I went out and got 2 price quotes for a mower. I tried to stay within Alcona County, and locally I went to Lincoln Outdoor Center and Hagelin's Landscaping. I was looking for something that was a semi-commercial mower, not the low end with the stamp deck. I wanted a fabricated deck, at least 25 horsepower and rollover protection, because we do have slopes here by the county building as well down at MSU building. They had a snapper model in Lincoln, which only had the 52-inch deck for $49.90 out the door, and Hagelin's has a one was a 52-inch deck, and the other one is a 54-inch deck at Hagelin's with a roller protection for $4,500 out the door. And so I'm making a recommendation that we find funds somewhere within the general fund, I guess, is where you guys would take the money from to buy a new lawn mower for the county. Because I cannot absorb that money. We had originally talked about maybe taking some money out of the contingency fund because there was money in there, but I'm having to allocate that for another resource right at this point in time. Once again, it's just another unexpected expense that we didn't plan for.
A lot of them this year.
Last 2 years. And once again, I want to point out, it's not lack of maintenance. Everything we have is just old.
Yep.
We're running it right, literally, there's no long-term plan in place right now. We don't have the funding to set aside that this year we're going to do the lawnmower, next year we're going to do the roof, next year we're going to do the windows. That's one of those things we're still trying to plan out. We're going to come with a course of action. We're kind of just emergency repairing everything.
Like any piece of equipment, eventually it nickel and dimes you to the point that you've spent a major amount of dollars. If you bought a new one,
yeah, it
would. As far as these two, for me, I think he needs to buy the one that he thinks is the best.
Yeah. Like I said, I've replaced 99% of the moving parts, but now it's the structure parts. Where the deck mounts to the frame, the holes are either going to have to get all welded up and redone. The frame where the deck mounts to is all broken. So that's a lot of the chassis parts. Like I said, for snow plowing and salting, it's going to be perfect for that. A little bit of cleanup in the yards for lawn tractor, pulling trailers around, it'll work for that.
If these were both the same price, which one would you get?
I would probably go with the Husqvarna because it's a name brand and the convenience of it. For when I need parts and service, they've been very well. They're right up the street. It's very easy to run over there and get something. And the other issue is just the convenience of it.
Yeah, I have a Husqvarna, 6 years old. I mow a lot.
Mm-hmm.
My house, I mow the hill behind the mountain. I've done a lot with it, and it's still running great in 6 years. I haven't had nothing to do with general maintenance, but they're very powerful and they're very good, but.
Well, I think it'd be wonderful if finance determined an adequate dollar amount for you to purchase that.
I'll make a motion that we move it to the finance department to find out where to get
I
the
like
money.
that.
And we can deal with it at the next meeting.
So did we already do
It's a
that?
meeting.
Did you guys take a look at it?
No, this is the first time we've seen this.
Oh, I thought you said
I
you did.
emailed it to everybody.
Yeah.
I emailed it last week. Everybody else got a copy of it.
Well, we didn't have both quotes.
Yeah. Yeah, and the original email, it said in the email, it had the price quotes written out on it. And
Darn technology.
Then I also scanned them in the computer and they were on the
Well,
computer. I apologize.
We haven't talked.
So how about I make the motion that I said that we turn this over to finance, they can find the money, we can vote on the issue.
You don't need a
next
motion
week.
for that.
No,
Finance just goes right to it.
I'll make a motion that we
I pulled the
purchase.
stuff up, we just gotta find the magic
I'll
money.
support
so
that.
that's-
I'll make a motion that we purchase a Husqvarna for $4,500 and that Adam and I'll get together and we'll figure out, we can get the money and we'll just get it handled. You don't need to wait 2 weeks.
Okay.
No, I agree. And I support.
Okay, so any other discussion? Discussion? Let's move the purchase and finance will find that money.
You might not like how it smells, but okay.
Yeah. Well, the lawn's gonna keep mowing, so it's gotta get done. And, we appreciate the city and, appreciate their willingness to work with us, but it's gotta happen. And appreciate that machines wear out. I got a lot of them and they get wore out. We're fixing them all the time.
Do they Would they give us some, like, billing till the 1st of July?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, so you can purchase it.
Correct.
So I'll make a motion, in my motion, that he purchase it with the billing to be.
ASAP.
Yeah,
Deliver and then.
30 days.
You want, what,
30
you would
days.
prefer the billing July 1st.
yeah.
That's the other issue is when
Yeah.
would you like to build it?
Yeah, if they'll bill it July 1st, but you can take delivery right away, do
Yeah.
it.
All right,
My
let's do
opinion.
that.
That's my
then.
motion.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Gothier?
Yes.
Brumman?
Yes,
Reggie?
Yes.
Winnet?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
go cut grass.
All right. Thank you very much, everybody.
The mowing kind.
No, we're good. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dave. So, while you're here,
Yes.
as we were talking about opening the building,
Yeah.
we're set. We got all our,
Yeah.
anything we need.
Yep. I will, if we're gonna open up the bill, the only thing I would have to do is contact Scott Rice, and then we'd probably just get a little bit more hand sanitizer, place more containers around the building a little bit more. Everybody, office has it, everything's been working very well. I think we could do it.
Have you seen those stickers they got on the floor now where it says 6 foot
Correct.
and you put them in different areas?
I haven't found a source yet where I can buy those. They're all basically being made up by the corporation. So like True Value made up all the ones that they have at the hardware store here.
Oh.
They, most of the big retailers or whatever are having them made in-house. And so what I've been trying to search online is, if I have to, I can go down and just put X's on the floors, what we talked about, around the offices and in the hallway. We can just put duct tape like some of the smaller stores are doing.
Well, I was just at the little restaurant right down here.
Yeah.
And she's got them on there, and they have a brand new girl working there yesterday. And I said, where did they get those? And she said, they just got them yesterday, just put them on. And I said, I wonder where they got them.
Yeah.
And then I lost, they were
Okay.
busy, and so I don't know where they got them, but it had to be, it wasn't no True Value, nothing. It had to
Okay.
be, so she got them from somewhere, but
So
they're
maybe
pretty neat.
someplace like down in Scotia, the one place that does their stickers.
At
and signs.
Dockside?
Yeah, dockside.
Okay, I will check into that, but like I said, I've been looking for something, as simple as just putting lines on the floor and.
They're
X's and
closed
stuff.
today, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I will check into that.
All right. Thanks, Dave. Board presentation, I assume that was Alyssa.
Yes.
All right.
We have to put her motion, we have to put her, no, we did that already.
Yeah.
My bad.
All right. So Gary was chomping at the bit to make a motion. We had this discussion. So, but I
am-
think it's appropriate,
I think I'm making a motion to reopen the building as it was pre-COVID-19.
So, and with that,
do you have a date?
I don't care if it's tomorrow.
I know. but
Well,
I
you
think
get,
we
you
could-
need to get.
Okay, I'll
Monday.
make it June, let's see,
Monday.
June 5th is Friday, 6, 7, 8,
Yeah.
June 8th.
June
You
8th.
do, that'd be perfect for me,
Yep.
because that'll give me time to put everything on the floor and
Oh,
get the rest
well-
of the stuff organized. That gives
But
me.
he's not proposing to open it with restrictions, he's proposing to
No, but
open
I'm
it.
just saying, they
Yep.
were talking about something as simple as the 6 foot spacing rule on the floors and more hand sanitizer.
Well, you still have to follow the governor's
Distancing.
You
rules.
still have to follow the governor's rule.
You still have to follow the governor's
rule.
rule.
We can still be open to the public, but I'm still required to, around the office doors, that you can't have 6 people standing in line to get into the treasurer's office. They have to be 6 foot apart on the floor.
So we do have our plan that we
Yes.
still have that's been adopted by this board. And
Yeah.
that does include the 6 foot spacing and all the other, so what you're proposing is the building be open to the public
Following the governor.
and not following the plan we have in place?
Yeah, I'm saying to open this building up to the public and let us
Now-
conduct business.
Before this
Well, we
happened,
can do that. Is that your motion?
That is my motion.
So his motion is to open the building to conduct business.
I mean, you can put any, well, we'll put that in discussion, I'm sorry. That's the motion.
The motion is to reopen the building June 8th to be open for business again. Is there support?
For discussion, I'll support.
All right, moved and supported. So,
Well, I'm thinking that most places do things that says, look, I've been walking into stores in Arizona, like Walmart, for instance, or other places, but it says, look, if you're feeling any symptoms, if you're feeling sick or any of this other stuff, by you walking through that door, you're acknowledging you're okay. And I think with a sign like that, it kind of puts the responsibility on the person. Look, you're coming into our facility. We ask that you don't come in here if you feel you're under any of these symptoms or you've been in contact with people and there's any permission. I mean, I'm tired of this thing of having to make the government responsible for everybody to do the right thing. I mean, we're adults and people just need to start acting like adults. And I'm
Okay,
saying
so
that's,
your motion is to open the building back up for business June 8th to the public.
yes, sir.
Well, in discussion, we still have to follow all the governor's guidelines.
We are still operating under our COVID-19 business.
Right.
Our, that we have adopted, yes.
Yeah, so
Well, if you want to modify it, that's fine with me. I don't care. I just want to see this thing getting.
Well, we'd still be
back to-
operating under what the DHD
What I'm saying is
suggestion.
you guys are proposing, he's saying no restrictions, no.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Well, he did initially.
Initially, I did.
It's not what the motion says, though.
Okay.
The
But I'm
motion says-
not going to say that we're going to require a mask because that's the part that I am.
The motion says we'll open the building back up to the public on June 8th.
Yeah.
Okay, so my question is, are we gonna follow our plan?
Yes, we still have to follow the one we
Yeah,
adopted.
we still have to follow the plan we got, that's all that matters.
Yep.
I will digress to following the plan.
Yes.
But I still want the building open.
Yeah, I knew that. So I'm trying to get around to that and say, so what we're asking is to reopen the building to the public on June 8th. We'll continue to use the adopted plan that we have under COVID-19, which will include a certain amount of mask wearing and a certain amount of everything that's in that COVID-19 plan that DHD has provided with us.
Right.
We
The safety of our employees is.
Sure. So, all right. Any other discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Drummond,
Yes.
Reggie,
Yes.
Manette,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Gothier.
Yes.
All right. So, I would like to say that with that also that we'll begin, unless there is something dramatically happens in the next 2 weeks, that we'll go back to our meetings being public again also.
Yes.
Allow the public in. So I don't think we need a motion for that. Stay home, stay safe is done. That's been a action of the board and the chairman, I think, in specific. So if nobody's, unless something changes, I will announce that or make a thing on the website that will be open to the public again. All right.
That means the door will be unlocked, both the prosecutor's door and the.
Well, that'll happen June 8th.
Okay.
Well, I think if an office chooses to have their door locked, they have their prerogative.
Individual office.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, but not the building.
Yeah, the building will be
Yeah,
open.
no,
There'll be one upstairs and one downstairs. The
They're
main
always
door
locked.
upstairs
Yeah.
and the main door downstairs.
Okay. After what has it been 3 months? 3 months.
March 16th.
March 16th, yep. You have to oil them hinges or something that haven't been used in a while. All right, that's it for new business. Treasurer's report. Cheryl, are you still available?
Of course.
All right.
Okay, so I gave you all a packet. The chart you see is really too less. It was online, but this is just a basis of the top one with the graph chart is the basis of the fund equity that we've had from the 2007, the recovery period that we had in 2007, where we built up the funds, and then the structure we have. I mean, it's obviously, you can see on the downtrend for this fund equity. 2019 is not complete, the audit is not complete, sorry. So I have a very strong feeling that that fund balance is not going to be equal with 2018. It will be down approximately $300,000 because that's the amount of the fund balance that we do. So the trend is heading down, and you can see the data on the bottom. There's that showing the fund balance that we've had starting in 2007 all the way through 2018, and the trend that we have, how it's been diminishing. The general fund operating results, the other line chart, shows the trending that we have for the difference between the revenues and the expenditure. Just a little, maybe a little better to see it, with in your own hands. There were a few things that I presented at the last meeting in regards to budgeting issues and the conversation that I had with finance in regards to the termination pay, and there was just a little mix up on how that was going to be handled. And, or a I didn't get the memo about that it was completed. And I'm not seeing that anything was moved or any budget was amended. And so we do have a little bit of an issue in that particular area for payroll on the termination pay of the officer. I'm sorry,
You
there's
mean
not
in the,
left.
I can't hear.
We can't quite hear you, Cheryl. You're breaking up.
There's an issue with the termination pay.
In the police, you mean?
Yep, in the sheriff's department, the one that you approved last meeting. I haven't seen a change in that. Was that completed? The budget amendment that was supposed to be presented?
I thought, Cheryl, that with our conversation, that you were working with Scott and Debbie with all those different items within the sheriff's department.
Oh, yeah, that was this kind of a difference. That was from the beginning of the year, the payroll issues. Those have been, for the standard pay has been cleared up. I went through about 275 pay sheets for each of the 25 employees there and made over 120 corrections to make that work out properly. So, and I clerk's office and payroll, and we're all on the same page moving forward. My question is in regards to the termination pay.
Okay, so what line item are you on? I'm lost. Okay. Termination pay is a line item you're talking about, or?
I'm sorry, at the last meeting you approved the payout for the retiring officer. And there was the budget amendment.
Yep.
I'm just wondering, I haven't heard anything about that, or I don't see it on your
You
agenda.
approved a certain amount coming out of.
It's 725.
Yeah, but.
.000.
What I'm saying is that I'm looking for the budget amendment so I can make the correction on this final payoff.
Okay.
Because it was taken out of the wage line item as opposed to termination pay.
Oh, okay.
It needed a budget amendment to be put into termination pay.
Whoa.
You're really coming through.
All right, we'll just have to take a look at this, Dan.
Okay, well,
Well, remember,
Cheryl, well, yeah.
in order for expediency, we took it out of payroll. Remember that? And then it was gonna be taken out of the.
I guess I'm just lost. I thought we had everything handled. Cheryl, we'll get with you, okay? I apologize.
That's okay. I'm just, because that's a big thing right now. The budget is overextended on that particular line item where it released.
Okay.
There are also some other termination pay issues that are upcoming and that I have not heard anything in regards to as far as budgeting for, such as the court system. And that has a few with the changing of jobs for the court administrator and then the retirement of the recorder. Is that who it was? Gail? So there's termination. I mean, has that been looked into, or because the budget will need to be amended?
My conversation with Alyssa a week and a half ago was that she was gonna look at the 3 different jobs that she gets paid for, and she was supposed to have a breakdown of what the termination pay was gonna be and where it was gonna come from. That's what my assumption was, that Alyssa was putting that together.
Oh,
Maybe I'm wrong.
Even if she puts it together.
Huh?
Even if she puts it together, there would have to be a motion.
Well, yeah, but we haven't seen nothing. I don't have the finished idea.
Yeah.
We haven't seen a piece of paper at all of what the termination amount is, like it was presented to the sheriff's department. That was presented to this last meeting, but we haven't seen nothing on Alyssa.
Yeah, I haven't.
And Gail, there is nothing on return. I think all she has is 1 week's vacation. There is no termination pay or anything on that per Alyssa.
Well, I haven't heard anything. It was just brought to my attention, and so I wanted to ask where you guys were with that. But as far as the prior retirement, the one that was paid out on the 28th, I believe.
Yeah.
You had mentioned that you were moving money from the 730, that fund. You were going to create a budget. It was going to be approved this week, so we could move the money from that fund to termination pay. I didn't see it on the agenda, so I was just curious if you had been working on that.
Yeah, so it's gotta come out of, remember.
Yeah, I understand, but I guess we haven't done nothing then.
Okay.
So
Okay, so what I've
I'd have
actually
to
been working on was the payroll issues that had come up, and so we have that pretty much resolved. And we'll be watching. That was one department. I've been addressed by 2 other departments that may have a possible issue, but I'm going to request a meeting with finance and the clerk, which, we used to have meetings based on our adopted policies for finance and procedures. And I'm not seeing a lot of that happen at this time as far as when money is moving. And so I just like a better handle for everyone so we know what's going on. So I'm going to request a meeting with finance in regards to getting this all straightened out, the policies and procedures that people have to follow. Because we're running into a lot of issues where people are not understanding the protocol and things are happening that they don't understand. And I don't have answers because I'm not receiving any. And the questions I ask go unanswered a lot of the time. So I just like a clarification on where we are with the finance policies. So can we set up a meeting?
Yep. I'm available anytime. Adam.
Yeah, whenever.
I mean, as soon as you can, as soon as we can, Adam.
How long do you need to prepare for you, Cheryl?
Right now we're, depending on what happens the rest of this week, I will need, a couple of days, maybe next week would be good.
Next week sometime?
So, yeah, that's fine. We'll set it up. Yeah, we need to. I've got it wrote down here that we need to talk to you about putting a meeting together, but I'm available any day, so.
Is Wednesday too late next week?
Oh, let me check the calendar.
So what were the issues with?
I'll make it
payroll?
work,
Do you
whatever
know?
day you can.
Yeah.
Or you know what? I'll get with Dan after the meeting and we'll communicate with you and
yeah, we'll come up and talk
the clerk. We'll make a date.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you.
Other than that, you got my stuff there. I really would appreciate if you would review the board, the budget, not just the general fund, but all of them, because there are issues that we've discussed and things that are not resolved that need attention. We're almost halfway through the year, and I'd really like to see those addressed. But that's
All
really
right.
all right now. Any questions?
I don't see any. Alrighty,
All right, thank you.
thank you. Clerk's report, Trina?
We do have one thing to report. Delta Dental, I was doing the bell yesterday and they have given us a pandemic relief credit in the amount of $4,566.98, which covered the entire bill for the month of June.
$4,000.
Yeah, it's better than kicking the pants.
There's a lawnmower.
Yeah. Oh, well, most of the lawnmower. Hey, we can negotiate it.
Oh,
We get that $500 drop.
45.
Huh?
Lawnmower's 45. This is 45.66, isn't it?
Can I make
Did
a
I-
motion right now? I move them money from that line item into lawnmowers?
I'll second it.
Yeah, I don't. It's gonna get moved somewhere sooner or later, just before this year's over.
Anything else?
That's really about it. Everything else is.
That was a lot of good vibes from that one. Do another one like that. That was good.
All right, excited.
I'm assuming because nobody went to the dentist for 2.5 months.
Couldn't go to
Yeah.
the dentist.
So
Okay.
they give you 1 month instead of 2.5 months, though. That's their generosity.
We'll see what the outcome is for the next couple months.
All right.
Well, they're open now.
If nothing else, we'll move on. Communications, you all have these resolutions. Everybody had a chance to look at them, I hope. Committee reports, Gary? How's Arizona?
Arizona, land of the free, you can go into a restaurant and eat, granted there's social, God, I hate that word. But, you know, a lot of people are just getting really fed up with this thing. I mean, you got the attitude as it is here in Michigan is out there. People just want to get back to normal, not the new normal. And they're enjoying the comedy show from our governor.
It's on TV across the country.
Okay. Dan?
The only thing is again, on this EMS fact sheet, definitely is gonna be on the agenda in 2 weeks. If anybody wants any changes to this fact sheet, any clarification on verbiage or anything, we need to have it to us, to Adam and I, before, like in a week or something, so we can have it together for the following Wednesday meeting. That's it, I got.
Okay. Adam? Carolyn?
A couple things. One, I'd like to ask concurrence for the afternoon of August 19th. It is the Wednesday of, the third Wednesday, which would be our second meeting for the day. As you know, we've been trying to put a hunt presentation together and had a couple of meetings on it with various folks. And that's looks like probably the best date without pushing it out too far. And so would like to do it at 1:30 that Wednesday afternoon after our meeting. I guess from my perspective, wouldn't have to be part of our meeting per se. From my perspective, there's no reason we couldn't adjourn and then come back. Or we can do however the chair would like to,
Okay.
but incorporated, but nonetheless, no notes or anything like that. And our perspective was to invite township personnel,
Supervisors,
elected
yeah.
officials, and if there are, certainly want to make sure that Dan O'Connor receives an invitation. And if there are others that you think of that possibly Lenny might like to come and hear it. We'd just like to share that with that. The other thing, we're getting ready, personnel is getting ready to do a workshop, a presentation, whatever, for staff. There will be it'll be done twice so that we can cover all staff who want to come regarding the change in automobile policy and how it affects moving forward for the individual families. Trina's done a lot of work on it, making sure that working with Priority Health and so on. And we're going to bring that together, and I'll let you know that date as soon as we have it. I'll just send out an email for everybody if you want to attend. That's all I
All
have
right.
that we have.
I don't have any other than EDC. We've been working on that. School is hopefully going to have, last I'd heard, there's some grant money coming in. They're looking at their routers on each and every bus. I think John has just sent me what we worked on for our data points where every kid in the county is, so they can dispatch those buses and routers to certain areas as we get closer to the new school year, which is coming faster than we know. And just trying to find ways to help with the broadband issue. Other than that, the only thing I would add, John has just sent me a note. There was a question on whether or not we were going to continue to Zoom our meetings, and talking, and my personal feeling, unless there's somebody here at the board who doesn't think we should, but I feel like we will. We'll continue doing this as we have been, although we will be open to the public, so public comment will come from here. I don't anticipate doing public comment over Zoom. That was a executive order that allowed us to do that. I assume that's going to probably expire, would be my guess. So public comment will still be done here at our meetings. Yeah, I think we're gonna continue this transparency activity that these meetings are available on YouTube. They're all recorded, so gives everybody a chance to see them. I know it's been requested over the years and we finally got it done, so you have a chance to watch these meetings at your leisure when you got nothing else to do and you want to fall asleep.
Question on that.
Yes.
We won't be doing the roll call votes then all the time.
No, when we're back in regular session, we'll have regular, that was a requirement of the executive order.
Not that I mind it, it's just, I just wanted clarification on that.
That was required of us, so. On that note, I have nothing else. Any other public comment?
The Fair Board is still doing their raffle tickets, so any fair board that hasn't. This year, we're basically doing guns or money. For example, the first prize is a 20 gauge Mossberg over and under silver reserve or $800 cash if you chose to take the cash. Second prize is a 22 silver Henry or $600, or third prize is a Smith & Wesson 380 or $400. Tickets are $5 a piece, and every member of the Fair Board has them. We will do the drawing in August at the normal time, which would have been when the pump and run would be. So anyone that wants to be there to see the raffle pull is invited, but we will have the raffle in honor of the house.
All right, anything else? Any others? Commissioners, additional comments?
And Tom's sitting over there.
No, he's missing.
Still for public comment?
Sure.
I'm Tony Atkinson from the Veterans Affairs Office. I was just wondering if I can get the bill for the rent and the computer services.
Okay.
I don't know if that's Finance Committee or that I addressed that to, or.
Okay.
Well, there's no rent no more.
Well, there's no more
There's
rent.
rent, we don't do that anymore. We can't do that, right?
Well, no, this is from the county line items. It's not from grant.
Okay.
So.
All right. Tom, did you have something?
No.
Is that it, Tony?
Yep. That's
Okay.
Wait, I'm confused. Rent, we're not charging you rent because we can't because of the veterans bill. We cannot, we have to buy that bill, I don't know the date and the name of it.
The service fund grant?
Yeah, no, the veterans bill that requires us to provide you an office space.
Oh, the law that we operate.
Yeah, right.
Public Act 192 of 1953.
Right, so we can't charge you this rent, so that rent line
Okay,
item.
so then that money needs to go back to the general fund, and that line item needs to be scrubbed.
And the computer services, $1,000, that was last year when computer equipment was purchased for you. Oh, no, that was off of the, no, that computer services was off of the,
We didn't do cost share to veterans.
No.
yeah, the cost.
We didn't do that.
No, I think that was, they had to get a line over to
No,
his
no, that
office.
was the cost, that was the cost, what was the name of it?
Why don't you guys get together?
Cost
and we'll
allocation,
adjourn
yeah,
this?
we'll get together, but yeah, okay, Tony.
So if those services, or if those things are gone, then that money needs to go back out of our line items and back into the general fund wherever.
Or it could just go into your contingency line item for now. Or whatever, okay, we'll figure it out, okay, all right. Okay.
Motion to adjourn?
No other commissioners? Motion to adjourn accepted. We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.